night so sweet and warm, that fitting to my form, mirror to the soul. I was a lonely child, never had the words to say, but the music played in my head like the tide it rolls away. I float in sultry seas, big dreams that sail afar, waiting for one who knows the beating of a heart. I am as far as the sea, the stories the sailors used to tell. 1 minute soft and sweet, but I can be fire as well. I'm just a wounded bird, captured the once was free. Seems there is a gilded cage surrounding me. I know that I could leave the moment the handle turned. It's so easy, it's so hard to see our own insecurities. Feel like I'm lost at sea. Feel like a cloud of rain. If you saw the depths in between, would you run from the pain? Feel like I'm in a dream. I feel like a shooting star. No matter how it seems, you can run, but there you are. I'm just a wounded bird, captured the once was free. Seems there is a gilded cage surrounding me. I know that I could leave the moment the handle turned. It's so easy, it's so hard to see our own insecurities. I feel like a cloud of rain. I feel like a shooting star. No matter how it goes, you can run, but there you are. But I'm just a wounded bird, captured the once was free. But there is a gilded cage behind me.
Thank you so much, Melanie. I love having Melanie out here. She reminds me of a goddess of the earth, and then to be in this beautiful earthly creation of a place. I'm in love this morning or this evening. So I just wanted to welcome everyone. This is Music and Spirit, and I'm Reverend Kimmery Glynn. I wanted to welcome the live community and all of those who are here soaking up the sun, and they're looking at lots of sunglasses. Welcome. Melanie plays from the heart, and she plays songs from the earth, and most of her songs this evening are all going to be originals. So thank you so much for being with us this evening. We continue the theme of bringing in the harvest, and we're lucky to have Reverend Don Chatfield here this evening. He's going to be talking about finding the hidden blessings. So what a wonderful time to dig. Some of these days are sometimes hard, and we can dig and find so many hidden blessings within all that's going on. So I just wanted to let some people know about some of the things that are happening in our community, and I also wanted to say thank you for those who continue to show up. I wanted to thank Melanie's two aunts, Lori and Christine, who came early and ended up setting up flags. So thank you for coming and doing that and traveling all the way here. Thank you, Jack, for being our temperature taker and registration, and all who continue to come together to hold the community. It's nice to see people coming back too, so welcome back. I also wanted to thank Dan York for connecting us to the live community, and Mariko Middleton as well. Thank you, all the ways we stay connected. A couple things that are going on at All Souls that maybe you don't know about is, well, we just added a bunch of yoga classes, so that's very new. So just know you can check out our web and see all the things that we're starting to add in slowly. We also continue to have a racism discussion that will be ongoing, and we continue to have a men's group, and our search for meaning is now going to be touching into some podcasts, so you can look for details on the web. We also started an Order of the Sacred Earth, and we have our first meeting on the 27th on a Sunday. So if you're interested in joining that order, you're still welcome to join. A couple other things, way in advance, but something to think about is Jan Salzman is a rabbi from the synagogue in Burlington, and she's going to be building a sukkah, and we're all invited to join her for that. So that's all the way in October, on October 7th, on a Wednesday evening, and we'll have that on the web as well. And then I just wanted to remind everyone the reason why we're here tonight. Normally it would have been our 20th celebration, our anniversary celebration, but the weather was a little bit too cold, even though I'm hot right now. The stringed instruments, they need a certain temperature to play in tune. So we're going to wait till next week. And so next week's service is really going to be from 4 to 5:30. So I just wanted people to know, don't show up at 5, come at 4. I think that's it for all of our announcements, but I want to start off with some opening words by Sri Avinash. The spiritual path is a path of self-discovery. That means that you find hidden treasures inside you as you go through life. Welcome. I'm on.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near.
As we prepare for the chalice lighting this evening, I just wanted to mention that we are in the process of refreshing the membership directory that Reverend Mary Abley first started here at All Souls. And I want to thank all of you who have already returned your confirmation. And I wanted to share with you this special book, this leather-bound book that has a beautiful tree embossed on the cover, much like our logo. And this book is filled with handmade paper. And as your membership confirmations have been coming in, we are inscribing your name in this new registry. And so this really is a representation of the heart of our community. And as such, I'm going to place it here on the altar next to our chalice, which Reverend Kim Marie will be coming to light during our reading. And this evening's reading comes from Jean Wallstrom. In this small flame dwell the beacon light of travelers being guided home, the warmth of hearth fires tended throughout the generations, the transforming energy of furnaces, and the power and life of our sun. May all of these blessings, warmth and light and life-giving energy, be kindled this evening in each one of us.
Softly the sighing of the river sings a mellow song, takes me on its journey in dreams I float along. I'm wistful and I'm dancing as I walk alone. Take me with you, river, till I wake and dream no more. My life is just a journey I weave into my song. Take me with you, river, I wanna sing along. For full moons carry music on the wind, and I'm wild like the wind, like the wind, like the wind. lights reflected on waters are shimmering. Slices of icicles sparkle and I'm shivering. All the magic of this moment is fleeting, but so worth remembering. And full moons carry music on the wind, and I'm wild like the wind, like the wind, like the wind. Take me with the river till I wake and dream no more. My life is just a journey I weave into my soul. Oh, take me with you, river, I want to sing alone. Yes, full moons carry music on the wind, and I'm wild like the wind, like the wind. Softly the sighing of the river sings a mellow song, takes me on its journey in dreams I float along. I'm wistful and I'm dancing as I walk alone.
As Reverend Kim Marie mentioned, our theme this month is Bringing in the Harvest. And one of the wonderful things about being here at All Souls is we are surrounded by a working farm. And so during the course of the week, as we're carrying out our work here in the office, we watch evidence of the harvest taking place. And as I think about harvests, what came to mind are the kinds of surprises that tend to crop up during a harvest. 3 years ago, a farmer realized that she would really like to have some carrots for supper. So she went out onto her farm and started pulling a bunch of carrots. She took them back into the kitchen and started washing them up, and she noticed that one of them was rather strange looking. And as she washed the dirt off of the carrot, what emerged was a wedding ring around the carrot. The carrot had grown straight through the ring so that when she pulled it out, it enabled her to pull the wedding ring out of the ground. With a little bit of checking, she discovered that the ring belonged to her mother-in-law, who had lost it 14 years earlier. So she was happy to receive the ring back, a long-lost treasure that was restored to her life. And she said, from now on, whenever I go out to weed on the farm, I'm taking this ring off. But you know, discovering hidden treasures is a theme that's actually talked about in many different spiritual traditions. And so tonight we're going to be looking at those and looking to see if there's anything that we can find that may apply in our own spiritual journey. The first theme that I noticed as I prepared for this evening is that there's a common teaching that we find hidden blessings through giving. Now, the Lotus Sutra of Buddhism lays out a description about the process of enlightenment. And it says that enlightenment takes place through sowing, maturing, and harvesting. And it describes this process that Buddha planted the first seeds of enlightenment within his followers at the time of his original enlightenment. And then he nurtured those seeds over 40 years of teaching in India. And then finally, he brought his disciples to full enlightenment with the last 14 chapters of the Lotus Sutra. They're also called the lifespan chapter. And so it's no surprise that the essential teaching of the Lotus Sutra is the Buddhism of the harvest. The Buddhism of the harvest. And there's one story that I'd like to share with you from Buddhist tradition, and it's about Aniruddha. Now, Aniruddha was a poor farmer, and he was out preparing to till his fields one day when a holy man came by who was very hungry and had no food. So Aniruddha took his last bowl of rice and gave it to the holy man so he could eat. Now that meant that Aniruddha would go without eating for the day. And then he went back to toil in his fields. But as he was working, a giant rabbit jumped onto his back, and he could not get the rabbit off of his back. So he ran home, and he said to his wife, help me get this rabbit off of my back." But by that time, the rabbit had turned to gold. And so his wife grabbed the rabbit from his back, threw it to the floor where it cracked and one of the legs broke off. But the leg grew back. So Aniruddha never had any need of money. He could simply break off a part of the golden rabbit, which would be regenerated, and he always had plenty. So in Buddhism, it's said of giving that you relinquish one and obtain 10,000 in return. If you relinquish one, you receive 10,000 in return. Years ago, in the very first church I ever worked in, I was teaching a Sunday morning class when all of a sudden there appeared at the door a very disheveled looking man, and he said, "Can anyone here help me?" So I turned the class over to one of the participants, and I walked with him out to his car. There, sitting in his car, was his wife with a newborn baby. And he said, "Sir, we are completely out of food. I'm without a job. Is there any way you can help?" Well, it was Sunday, and I knew that all of the food banks were closed, so we weren't going to be able to get help there. So I drove him to the grocery store, and we filled a cart with all the staples they would need for themselves and to keep the young baby fed. And then I went back to the church. We had him on the prayer list for several weeks, but frankly, after several months, I'd forgotten about that episode. And then a year later, I was sitting in my office on a Tuesday afternoon, and in he walked to my office. And he said, "I'll never forget that frigid morning when you helped us get enough food to keep my family healthy. I now have a job. I wanted to bring you the money back, and we'd like to support the work that you're doing here." So as we think about the blessings that we give from giving, is it all about never having to worry about money again, like Aniruddha? I don't think so. I think what we're being taught through this precept in Buddhism is that giving brings about benefits and returns that are truly immeasurable, far beyond the worth of a golden rabbit. I also noticed in preparing for this evening that we find hidden blessings by uncovering the truth, by seeing reality. Now, discovering these hidden treasures is also a theme within Tibetan Buddhism. And within the Terma tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, the teachings are deeply informed by the idea that spiritual treasures from the heavens become real in life. And in this tradition, the Tertan, or the follower of the teaching, discovers the Terma, or hidden treasure, when they have attained the pristine state of radiant light from which they came. Now, this same principle is found within Christianity. In the Gospel of Matthew, we read the parable of the hidden treasure. It says, "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy, he went and sold all he had and bought that field." Now, you might have an ethical question about that. Is it really fair that someone finds a treasure in someone else's field and goes and gathers the money and buys it so he can keep it? Well, just a little bit of background. Within Jewish law, that was allowed. There were no banks in those days, so it was pretty common to keep valuables buried. And the way that the law was set up, basically, finders keepers. But there's also another tradition in the Gnostic Gospel of Thomas that says this field actually had been sold several times since the original owner. So in any case, you can imagine the joy that this man felt when he uncovered this amazing treasure. The parable teaches us that the joy we experience when we uncover a spiritual truth that sets us free. So I'd like to ask you just to think about a time in your life when you have had a new realization about who you are, or a step that you need to take, or a resource that you have, and the incomparable joy that you have in that new realization. And you notice that the man, in finding this treasure, sold everything he had in order to be able to afford the treasure. So this evening I would ask, what are our spiritual treasures? And what is the spiritual truth that is worth everything you own? Have you found it yet? Or is it still hidden? The third theme I'd like to touch on is that we find hidden treasures by encountering the divine. Now, I don't know if you've ever taken the time to closely read the mission statement of All Souls Interfaith Gathering. Let me just read it for you. Our mission is to cultivate inner peace and inspire connection with the divine. Our mission is to cultivate inner peace and inspire connection with the divine. So, Kim Marie, I guess at heart, we're really farmers here. We're cultivating. We are building toward a harvest that helps us as individuals and as a community to realize inner peace and be connected with the divine. But what is it that we find when we get to harvest time? A deeply connected community? A renewed sense of meaning in life? New members, expanded programs, Our mission statement says that the blessing is hidden in plain sight, an encounter with the divine. So, no matter how you define that word, the divine, let me share with you a Muslim teaching. This is a Muslim hadith of Muhammad, may peace be upon him, where Allah says this: I was a hidden treasure and I wished to be known, so I created a creation, then made myself known to them and they recognized me. So did you catch that? Allah says, I was a hidden treasure. Allah was the hidden treasure, and I wanted to be known. So I created this creation, and now they recognize me. According to Sufi cosmology, or the way that they view the world and the heavens, God's reason for the creation of the universe and mankind is the manifestation or the recognition of himself, as it's stated in this hadith. So, for Sufis, humans, all of us, are extensions of the divine, in whom all of the divine qualities are reflected. Now, have you ever seen the symbol of the Muslim faith, the crescent? The crescent represents us as the moon, reflecting back the divine light. Reflecting back the divine life. So the story of humans, according to Islam and Sufism, is the story of a God who wants connection. So this means that humans come from God and are divine. Divinity participates within each one of us. And God sees God's self in the eye of the beloveds, that's us, beloveds, and we see ourselves through the divine eye. Baha'u'llah was the founder of the Baha'i faith, and his son, Abdul Baha, later became his successor. And he wrote a commentary on the Hadith of the Hidden Treasure. And in this commentary, he said that this encounter with the divine involves three things. That's first, recognizing the hidden treasure, loving the treasure, and knowing more about the treasure. So this evening, the question I would ask for you is, where do you encounter the divine? Is it on a trail in the woods? Is it in the spark of light in your children's eyes? Is it with good friends you've known forever? Is it here in this community? We find hidden treasures through our encounters with the divine, and we often have transcendental experiences when we are in the midst of working the harvest. So in the coming week, my hope is that all of us will find hidden blessings as we give to others, hidden blessings as we uncover new truth and realizations in our life, and hidden blessings as we encounter the divine. May it be so.
Thank you so much, Melanie, for bringing us into that meditative space. We're going to go into prayers and meditation. So those who are here on the land, or even if you're live, if you want to put your feet flat on the earth, and just come in tune with your breath. You can take your breath all the way down your feet, put it right into the earth, and then allow the earth to come breathing back into your feet, up into your lungs. And just find a rhythm there that you're breathing into the earth and the earth is breathing into you, just a sacred reciprocity, back and forth. Remembering she's always there to hold us, to breathe into, to be checked in with, so we can breathe a little deeper with her support, holding us. And then we're going to go into the heart. So if you can bring your attention to your heart, we're going to ask our heart a couple questions. We're going to ask our heart, what is the hidden blessing that is ours to share with the rest of the world? What is the hidden blessing that is ours to share with the rest of the world? And just listen and see what comes. And then what is a way that we can actually get closer to bringing that gift to the world? So whether it be bringing it out in a job, or bringing it out with your family, or bringing it out with your friends, or just being with it yourself, or tuning into nature, or bringing it to all souls to be shared. How can you bring that gift outside of yourself to share? And just take a moment to think about that. Maybe there's people that come into play. Maybe you can see a vision of what you need, some steps to take. And then collectively, I'd love to find the way we can think of peace. So we're going to just tune into this prayer together. It's a peace prayer from the Bhagavad Gita. So our mission, like Dawn said, is to cultivate inner peace and divine connection. So together, if we can take this into our hearts and bring it out to the world, here's a prayer of peace. I desire neither earthly kingdom nor even freedom from birth and death. I desire only the deliverance from grief of all those afflicted by misery. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May there be peace in the celestial regions. May there be peace on earth. May the waters be appeasing. May herbs be wholesome, and may trees and plants bring peace to all. May all benefit beings bring peace to us. May thy wisdom spread peace all through the world. May all things be a source of peace to all and to me. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.
We come now to the time of our service for the offering. And for those of you who are watching us on Facebook Live or on YouTube, we encourage you to go to our website where you'll find a donate button, and you can easily make an online donation to support our work and ministry here at All Souls. And for those of you here with us at All Souls, there's an offering box right up by the sun porch, and we encourage you to drop an offering in on your way out this evening. We always like to bless our offering, and so we'll do so now. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that we have, all that we are, and all that we give.
I will be doing an ancient Sanskrit chant, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And please feel free to join me. I can call the first part, you sing the second, and then once you have it, just join when you feel comfortable. The translation is, may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may my words, thoughts, and deeds all reflect to make it so. Sukino bhavantu loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May my words, thoughts, and deeds all reflect to make it so. May my words, thoughts, and deeds all reflect to make it so. Oh, peace, 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 peace. Oh, peace, 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 peace. Loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta. Sukino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Melanie. It's beautiful. Thank you, Kim Marie, for the prayers and meditation. I want to thank all of you for being with us either here tonight or joining us online. Now, if the weather forecasters are correct, a week from tonight will be about 10 degrees warmer, so it'll be perfect for our 20th anniversary celebration. We hope you'll be back with us. If you're watching online, we hope you'll join us here in person. Playing for Good will be here, and we'll be bringing beautiful music to help us celebrate. And Melanie, I believe you're back as well next week also. So Melanie will be back with us. So we hope you'll plan now to celebrate this ministry that Reverend Mary Abley began 20 years ago and that is ready to thrive into the future. So I'd like to offer closing words this evening. They come from Susie Kassem, and this is from her book, Rise Up and Salute the Sun. I have been finding treasures in places I did not want to search. I've been hearing wisdom from tongues to which I did not want to listen. I've been finding beauty where I did not want to look. And I have learned so much from journeys I did not want to take. I have learned that miracles are only called miracles because they are often witnessed only by those who can see through all of life's illusions. I am now ready to see what really exists on the other side. Thanks again for being with us. Many blessings on your week, and we look forward to seeing you back next week.